Here's the unfortunate truth about racism. It's going to last for a good long time, and we may or may not see the full scope of the change we want because our lives are comparatively short in the span of time. What hurdles people of color are facing, for those reading, I fit into that category, is our lives trudging through the transitional period of change. Let's look at it this way. Throughout the known world, every race enslaved and oppressed cultures within their own people. Whites had white slaves, blacks had black slaves, and even the Native American tribes enslaved other Native Americans. For thousands upon thousands of years, this collective ignorance and disregard for others because of X quality or belief has always been an issue inherent in mankind. Going to fast forward through some info, but here we go. For over thousands upon thousands of years, each race enslaved their own people. When we start crossing borders, people start enslaving people from other races. America is born in 1776. Slavery is abolished less than a century later, 1865. In 2015, it has been almost 150 years that a custom predating any written records has been abolished. So here we are. We have every right to voice our concerns. We have a right to stand up against individuals ruled by ignorance, and we have a right to keep fighting for change. However, no matter how hard we pull it together, no matter how loud we make our voices or continue the noble and just pursuit for equality, we just won't see the full culmination of our efforts within this lifetime. The cases where people have been murdered and oppressed because of their skin color today is ignorance in a chokehold and squirming for air. It's still very much alive, but that doesn't mean forever. Change will require working on the ignorance conditioned into all of us. Yes, all of us. Whites are no more capable of ignorance than any other person of a different skin color. Whites are only in the spotlight because it just so happens that Europeans were the ones that developed technologies quicker than anyone else. Had this been the case with another race, then we'd be talking about their skin color and privileges. It's a shitty deal walking the road to progress rather than already living on the promised land. But here we are, at the cusp of change. We're at a profound point in the evolution of our consciousness. Profound in that we exist in the era where we can fuck it all up. Racism is perpetuated by both the racists and their victims. What do I mean? Racists are a dwindling breed, and even the issues we're facing today aren't exactly proof that we're moving further away from change. Of course, they don't help, especially when they assist in conditioning their ignorance to their offspring, or the people around them. But an uphill battle isn't an indication that we're not making progress. Victims of racism are becoming racist. As I said before, whites are only in the spotlight because of circumstances. Had it been anyone else, it would be them we'd be labeling as privileged. What's happening is that in our transition from ignorance into enlightenment, I find people placing all whites into the same category. How can there be equality when even the victims of racism are becoming racist? Ultimately, we need to launch the movement from a baseline. We need to use terms that are inclusive, and we need to judge individuals individually. If we're going to call out a race for the action of those sharing their skin color, we'd spend the rest of our lives telling each other just how shitty all of us are. Change is coming even if we don't see it in our lifetime, and the struggles we face today do not counter that fact.